Hello everybody and welcome back to another blind commentary of Avatar The Last Airbender Season 3 Episode 4 Saka's Master. So, I said I wouldn't address comments during these episodes, but there's something I must bring up from the previous episode. I must admit I was maybe a bit too harsh. I had set my expectations way too high for that. And yeah, I called myself a bit too analytical on that one because it was that's just the thing I do. But I was not being that analytical. I can see now that I have had a lot of conversations in the comments of the previous video that there are things to enjoy about that series, that episode rather. And yeah, I do admit I was too harsh because I had set my expectations too high and I was not looking at it from a very clear way. The second thing is we had this little conversation about how some predictions that you guys have made have maybe miscolored my judgment for some of the episodes. However, currently I'm rather confused about many of the episodes, so much so that I don't actually mind that you pronounce your opinions or intentions about the episode in advance, because I believe I can be neutral enough. I just don't know. The previous episode was just a little strange occurrence. But without further ado, let's just immediately jump straight to it.
Water.
I just hope I have fixed this. Yeah, I have.
Fire. Air. Long ago, the four nations lived together in harmony.
Admittedly, though, I am still a
Everything
bit sick,
changed
so.
when the Fire Nation attacked. Only the Avatar, master of all four elements, could stop them. But when the
I
world
wonder what
closed, he vanished.
There was a lot of conversation about what the episode is, but not spoilers, but whether I would like this or not. And I will probably like it, considering how. That's just how I am. It's very hard for me to actually dislike an episode. So.
Previously on Avatar.
Also, I welcome everyone to disagree with my opinions. That's very good, in my opinion.
You have no right to judge me, Uncle. I did what I had to do in Ba Sing Se, and you're a fool for not joining me.
I see you favor the White Lotus Gambit. Not many still cling to the ancient ways.
Those who do can always find a friend.
Oh, that was awesome. That's a really neat callback. I don't know. I like that.
Kinda makes you realize how insignificant we are.
You've seen nothing once, you've seen it 1,000 times.
Oh man, you've never not seen anything like this.
Well, that's a surprisingly low-hanging comment. How unlikely for that comet to fly so close then?
The fire is gonna destroy that town. Not if we can stop it.
Comets rarely plunge into the earth in such huge things.
Let's make a trench to keep the
Huge
fire from
balls.
coming any closer.
What should I do?
Keep an eye on Momo.
So what, I'm just a lemur sitter? There. Feel better?
Yeah, that's kind of unfortunate that Saka has nothing to do here. That is... It's very interesting how benders can combine their powers with the same motions to increase the effect. That's very cool. Also, the implication of Katara going to bend the water is that Katara is stronger in water bending than Aang, or better in that, which kind of does make sense considering that she's his master, but yeah.
Right. Stand clear.
Or basically, that makes a lot of sense since that makes it a lot more reasonable because they need another earthbender
Good work, everybody.
there. Also, did they just create snow? That's unlikely, I must say.
Look at you. You're just a fat, disgusting old man. You do nothing, you say nothing, you just eat and roll around in your own filth like a pig. You're a disgrace.
Well, it's interesting that the Iroh hasn't
No
still
idea
lost
how
his
close
set
we were to getting
mind.
toasted last night. Yeah, the worst thing about being in disguise is we don't get the hero worship anymore. I miss the love.
Boo-hoo, poor heroes.
What's your problem? You haven't even touched your smoked sea slug.
It's just, all you guys can do this awesome bending stuff, like putting out forest fires and flying around and making other stuff fly around. I can't fly around, okay? I can't do anything.
That's not true. No one can read a map like you.
I can't read at all.
Yeah, and who keeps us laughing with sarcastic comments all the time? I mean, look at Katara's hair, right? What's up with that?
What? What's wrong with my hair?
Nothing. I was just trying to...
Look, I appreciate the effort.
Okay,
The
that's
fact
kind of
is,
fun.
Each of you is so amazing and so special, and I'm not. I'm just the guy in the group who's regular.
I'm sorry you're feeling so down, but I hope you know none of us see you that way. I know something that's gonna make you feel better.
You do?
This will be... sorry. This will be interesting because I very much enjoy
Maybe a little something
Saka.
to reinvigorate my battle.
Because he's very much
how
like
about these?
one of my... I enjoy him quite a bit. And now he'll hit himself. Yeah, of course.
What do you think? Pretty slick, huh? All I need to complete the outfit is a wind sword.
What's a wind sword?
It's where I get a sword handle, and then I just swing this around and bend air out like a blade.
Yeah, nice.
That melts.
What I got.
That's fucking mellow as fuck, dude. Okay. That's just a cool hilt.
That's what Sokka's talking about.
You have a good eye. That's an original from Piandao, the greatest sword master and sword maker in Fire Nation history. He
Okay.
lives in the big castle up the road from here.
That's it! That's what you needed all along, Sokka!
A sword?
Not the sword, a master.
I haven't
All my
commented
masters to
on...
help us get better. You should
Oh,
see
I
if you
have,
can find
whatever.
Piandao.
Actually.
That's a great idea. I could have never gotten to where I am without Master Paku. Everyone needs a teacher.
I learned from badger moles. They don't talk, but they're still good teachers.
It would be nice to be a master sword fighter.
That's actually
Alright,
very
I'll talk to
good looking sword. Like, it looked reasonable. It looked really good. That looked quite amazing. Actually, one of the things I haven't yet working out. I mean, I haven't commented on this about this episode season yet, but they have really improved the shading. Or there are a lot of shadows currently, like we saw on Iroh's face, and those really bring out more details, and that makes it look a lot more lively. That's something I haven't commented on, so that's very cool. Also, that's interesting that Iroh started working out. That probably means that he wants to do something by himself. Of course he will, but...
Can I help you?
I've come to train with the master.
You should know the master turns almost everyone away.
Hmm.
What did you bring him to prove your worth?
Well,
Right. Let's get this over with.
Okay.
Master, my name is Saka, and I wish to be instructed in the way of the sword.
Saka? That's an unusual name.
Oh, really? Where I come from, the Fire Nation colonies, it's a pretty normal name for Fire Nation colonials.
Let me guess. You've come hundreds of miles from your little village where you're the best swordsman in town, and you think you deserve to learn from the master.
Well, actually, I've been all over the world.
Yep, here we go.
And I know one thing for sure. I have a lot to learn.
You're not doing a very good job of selling yourself.
I know. Your butler told me that when I met you, I would have to prove my worth. But the truth is, I don't know if I am worthy.
I see. Well then, let's find out together how worthy you are. I will train you.
That's awesome. That's cool.
The first thing you must learn is that your weapon is an extension of yourself. You must think of it as another part of your own body.
Like a second head.
Well, more like an extra long, really sharp arm. The sword is a simple tool, but in the hands of a master, it becomes the most versatile of weapons. And just as the imagination is limitless, so too are the possibilities of the sword.
Actually, I favor the staff, but whatever.
What should we do today? I'm tapped out. I already picked my toes. Twice.
Twice?
The first time's for cleaning, but the second time's just for the sweet picking sensation.
Sokka's been in charge of the schedule. I'm not sure what we should be doing.
Plus, it's so hot today.
How hot is it?
I don't know. Real hot?
It's so hot. It's so hot. Momo is shedding like Appa. Huh? Huh?
Oh, this actually...
I guess the jokes don't run in the family.
Oh, everyone's a critic.
This actually brings out the importance of, like, Sokka very much. And that's kind of cool.
The warrior practices a variety of arts.
Iroh
to
is
keep his
actually
mind sharp and
practicing.
fluid. The first you will learn is calligraphy. Write your name.
Writing my name will make me a better swordsman?
When you write your name, you stamp the paper with your identity. You must learn to use your sword to stamp your identity on a battlefield. Remember, you cannot take back a stroke of the brush or a stroke of the sword. You are getting ink on your face.
I am? I am. So this is about putting my identity on the page, right?
That's just pointlessly dumb, but whatever. Okay.
Landscape painting teaches a warrior to hold the lay of the land in his mind. In battle, you only have an instant to take everything in.
And now you will walk.
Now paint it. And no peeking.
I have a lot to say, but I will save these. I will save my comments for the end. But there's a lot to say about this already.
Finished.
No.
You added a rainbow.
Is that okay?
Saka. Concentrate on what you're doing. Rock gardening teaches the warrior to manipulate his surroundings and use them to his advantage.
Manipulate them to my advantage. Oh! would you mind grabbing a cold drink for me?
I'll take a slice of lemon in mine, please.
Interesting. Sorry, again, I do not have much to comment on this. This is very self-explanatory though.
What's going on in there? Crazy old man.
So where are we going next? We're starting from
Awesome.
No, we're over on this island.
You noodle brains don't know what you're doing. I miss Saka.
Oh, I got one. If you miss him so much, why don't you marry him?
You've had a good first day of
Okay.
training.
I have? But I thought I messed up every single thing we worked on.
You mess things up in a very special way. You are ready for a real sword.
Are you giving me one of yours?
No. Your sword must be an extension of yourself. So tomorrow,
We'll
you
craft it.
will make your own.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really cool. Although in the hands of an unexperienced blacksmith, a sword will be bad. And Saka by no means can have
Choosing the
that
correct
experience.
material is the most important step in crafting a sword. You must trust your steel with your life. Choose carefully.
Master, would it be possible for me to leave and bring back a special material for my sword?
I wouldn't have it any other way.
Saka's coming!
Hey guys, what are you doing?
That's cool that Duff was
We
the
missed
first
you
one to
so much.
Say
first
something
one to
funny.
Funny how? What's their
okay,
deal?
whatever.
I don't know. They missed you or something. I didn't care.
Thanks. That warms my heart. Anyway, I need some help.
Oh, that's awesome. I really like those things, like when it's implied that like meteors or astral parts have something special in them. Like magical meteorite swords, like in Terraria. That's awesome.
Who's this?
Oh, these are my friends. Just other good Fire
Do you
Nation
have
folks.
friends?
Do you think we can make a sword out of a meteorite?
We'll make a sword unlike any other in the world.
Unfortunately, though, in reality, meteorites would not make good swords, but it's a very cool and a symbolic thing. I do quite like that. Hey, look, it's at the actual correct shape for the sword. It's like there's the tang on the short sword. A little
Saka,
detail that's actually very
when you
important.
first arrived, you were so unsure. You even seemed down on yourself. But I saw something in you right away. I saw a heart as strong as a lion turtle and twice as big. And as we trained, it wasn't your skills that impressed me. No, it certainly wasn't your skills. You showed something beyond that. Creativity versatility, intelligence. These are the traits that define a great swordsman. And these are the traits that define you. You told me you didn't know if you were worthy. But I believe that you are more worthy than any man I have ever trained.
That's awesome.
I'm sorry, Master. You're wrong. I am not worthy. I'm not who you think I am. I'm not from the Fire Nation. I'm from the Southern Water Tribe. I lied so that I could learn swordsmanship from you. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, too.
No. This is my fight. Alone.
This master is definitely just testing him out, but he will definitely let them go.
Pride of the Fire Nation, our top general, the Dragon of the West. Now look at you. Look what you've become.
Holy crap! Well, well, he's freaking buff. Oh, that's... Oh my god, he's buff. Oh. Huh. Oh my gosh, that stance is direct... Those stances were directly from ancient scriptures. That's... Although you don't actually jump in fights, but otherwise, cool. Neither do you roll, but...
Excellent. Using your superior agility against an older opponent. Smart.
Saka is really like...
Fighting from the high ground.
Saka is actually very clever. Okay, this is very cool. It really does show that Saka does not fight with strength, but rather with cunning and wisdom. Oh! Yeah, that's cool.
Yes! Use your surroundings. Make them fight for you! Very resourceful. Excellent work, Saka.
Nice throw.
I think I'm a little old to be fighting the Avatar.
How did you know?
Oh, I've been around a while. You pick things up. Of course, I knew from the beginning that Saka was Water Tribe. You might want to think of a better Fire Nation cover name. Try Lee. There's a million Lees.
Why would you agree to train someone from the Water
Clever.
Tribe?
The way of the sword doesn't belong to any one nation. Knowledge of the arts belongs to us all.
That's cool.
Saka, you must continue your training on your own. If you stay on this path, I know that one day you will become an even greater master than I am.
Wait! The Master wanted you to have this as something to remember him by.
It's a pie show tile.
The White Lotus. Huh. What does it mean?
I have no idea.
Holy!
That reminds me. Toph, I thought you might like this, since you've probably never had a chance to bend Space Earth before.
Holy crap!
Check this out. You know, I don't think there's such a thing as Space Earth. If it's from space, then it's not really Earth.
Must you ruin everything?
I can't believe I missed you.
Oh my gosh, this... Alrighty, so... Oh my god, this was definitely a... Oh, wow. Unfortunately, I cannot comment that much. I wasn't able to comment during the episode that much. It was just... It was really awesome. Oh man, okay. First off, let's talk about Iroh, because that's the easier part. It's very clear that Iroh has a plan, and he will probably break out of the jail eventually. I have a suspicion he'll join the gang, and he'll join up with them. Possibly. That's what I expect. But it's very cool to see him actually do something while he's being passive, and how he's still trying to trick them. It's so clever. Even though in captivity you will lose weight because you don't eat that much, but still, that's not the point. And then the whole premise of this episode was that since Sokka is the only non-bender in the group, except for Momo, but besides that, the only human non-bender, it's very cool that we get to see more of like that. It's an issue that they wrestle with, and it's actually been troubling him for a while now. And that's really cool, because that's relatable, since we cannot actually physically relate to the benders and their power. But to Sokka we can relate, because we cannot bend, at least not yet. But so it's very clear that why Sokka feels that way, since he cannot shoot freaking fire out of his hand. He cannot throw earth. He cannot bend anything. I like that they tried to handle this issue, and the way they did was cool. It was really amazing. Also, it showed the importance of Sokka for not only the whole group, but for Sokka, for the series as well, since he is a very important part of the humor of the show, and it's very essential for the show's basic feeling to have some humor in it. I know I've been a little hard-ass when it comes to laughing, because I am a very humorless person, and it's very hard to get me laughing. But Avatar doesn't have the same sense of humor that I have, but I can still appreciate the gestures they have. And it's very well done comedy, but not for me. But I still like how Sokka is a very vital part, not only for the gang, but for the series as well. And it's very cool, because not only does he bring the levity and some minor skills that other parts of the gang do not have, but he also brings the relatability aspect. He's an outsider. He's the one who cannot bend. And it's just interesting how vital he is to the group. And the way they started it off was a very cool thing, because they brought down a meteor, like meteor struck down very clearly, like it was kind of just, it showed like very clearly how Sokka cannot do things possibly in the same it cannot even relate to the things done in the realm that the benders can do, and how he still wants to be helping. So, and it came back in the end of the episode. It's so cool. I just freaking enjoyed this episode so much. Yeah. First off, like the whole fighting thing. It's interesting that Sokka is actually trying to go... They say that the club is the weapon of the untrained, because it's an easy weapon to use. You don't need training for a club. there are some techniques for clubs, but you can just basically swing it around and it'll be effective. However, now that he is trained in sword martial arts, he can clearly be a very good warrior. And it was like the master said, Sokka does not fight, or yeah, I mentioned this, but Sokka does not fight with strength. He fights with cunning, intelligence, and strategy. And that's very cool. I very much like that aspect, since it kind of flips the tables around when the weaker opponent defeats the stronger one. And that's definitely the aspect that Sokka also brings to fights. It's very cool that we get to see that, like, actually being realized here. And I also like the training part, like, in total, because it very well reflects majority of the parts of the actual swordsman training. And even though the fighting is very exaggerated and kind of unrealistic, it's not too unbelievable for humans to do those things. I have kind of commented on, like, how was it Ty Lee, the acrobatic girl, like how she jumped very high distances and she clearly jumped higher than any normal human could. But that doesn't really matter, since it's just art and it's very subjective and it's clearly stylized. Like, the fighting is, again, very amazing, even though it really is it's not realistic all that much, but it looks realistic enough. Like, in actual fights, you would not jump, roll, duck, or do those things, not to the extent that they do in the show. But it makes sense for Sokka to do those things because he's clearly very agile, not in the same realm as Ty Lee, but for a human, normal human combatant, he is, and that's cool. I really like that aspect of it, and I just really like this fighting style that he is coming to, and that's very cool. Then the whole aspect of martial arts growing beyond, like, the boundaries of the kingdom. That's also one thing that I very much enjoy, because I hold it very much like, being an artist, I very heavily believe in the way that we can communicate without a shared language. Through art and music and culture, we can communicate with non-verbal communication very easily. And that also, like, shows that when it comes to arts, there are no limits and there are no boundaries or countries. There's just art. There are, of course, cultures that have different arts, but there are no countries that limit its growth. Wow, that was a tangent. Whatever. That's the point of the commentary, isn't it? I have so many things to say. I don't think actually meteorites are composed of minerals that would actually create a good sword. But that's not the point. It looks cool. And that's the point. It looks so cool. It's a black sword. It's very unusual. There have been black swords in history. And I think there has been some swords made out of minerals, but they are not very durable and they are not very useful in fights. But it's cool and it symbolizes something else for Sokka, so it's very interesting. We also got to see more of Sokka's humility in the fact that he is not just being an arrogant prick like Zuko in the beginning of the series, but he's just really, he understands his own weaknesses and he comes to terms with those. It's very cool. I like that. I like this episode so much. I don't know how much plot relevance it will have, except for the Iroh parts and the fact that Sokka now has a sword, but it still is very cool. I really hope that Sokka doesn't, like, change, because that would change his character a bit too much. But I want him to incorporate the elements of this episode into the future. It was so interesting to see, like, the whole training and how he gradually got better. It's very good. I really enjoyed that. I have forgotten what to say, so we'll just start going scene by scene. I have actually one thing, but it'll be scene by scene. Yeah, this was the meteor part. I actually did comment on this already. And then the whole Iroh part that he's just... That looks strange, but whatever. The whole Iroh part that he's just faking to be going crazy. That's very interesting. I very much enjoy that. Then the whole shopping part, we get to see, like, the show has a lot of weapons like in it, like they don't like exclude even different weaponry from the show, but they are not just used not quite as frequently. It's kind of hard to understand what I'm saying here. It's cool that they have different weapons, basically. Then this whole thing of like Sokka being accepted because he has something in him. He is an unusual person, and that's why he was accepted. I do like that of them because of the master. And then the whole teaching principle in this one, like that the sword is an extension of your body. Basically, it's another part of your arm. That's very, very true to the actual real world fighting styles, that you use weapon as merely an extension of your sword or of your body. I still think that the staff is the most versatile of weapons, unlike what the master said there, because a staff can be a lot more things than a sword can be, but that's not important right now. But in short, staff can be a spear, a sword, and a mace at the same time. And it has variety, a lot more uses than a sword. Then there was this scene where they addressed this issue that they do actually need Sokka. That was maybe a bit too abrupt, or maybe too upfront about the issue, but I think it was just fine, because it's an issue that's not maybe such an easy thing to comprehend. But it's cool. I very much enjoyed. Like, I think it's good. This is again one of the episodes where I think the pacing is again very masterful. There are many things in like actual martial arts that are not that much related to actual sword arts. Like, well, usually it's just discipline and methodology, but there are actually many of, if you practice full-time martial arts, you actually do like, you will have to do other things besides train with swords. What else to say about this whole thing? The whole fact that Sokka wanted, that they were giving Sokka his own sword that he would have made by himself. That's a very symbolic thing, because that means Sokka has literally grown, because he grows apart another part of his body. Oh god, that sounded horrible. But yeah. Then the whole thing that it's from the comet, that's also very, because that kind of marked the point where he was fed up with the fact that he cannot bend, and he wanted to become a warrior, a real warrior. So it's very symbolic that he carries his past. Clearly, he carries his past with him in the sword, because that's the turning point. Okay, that's maybe a bit over-analyzing it, but that's what I feel like, and that's very cool. I may have not expressed it very clearly, but I do like over-analyzing things. And I admit it's just over-analyzing, and I maybe shouldn't go as deep, but that's what I do. That's what I do. I like that. And it shows that the series has a lot more depth than, well, a children's show usually has. Oh my, you can actually see quite a bit of... I mentioned about the shading, and this is going by these scene by scene, it shows how much they have actually done, like these little shading here and there. That's very cool. And also the fact that we saw like buff boys. That's, oh man, that's, the future will be bright indeed. And I must say, Iroh looks damn good. Okay, and then the whole fight with the Master and Sokka really shows how, it really shows Sokka's fighting style in action, and that's something I very much enjoy. It's very cool that we get to actually see Sokka's and like growth in. Well, clearly we get to see it. Yeah. Then the whole, the last part here, which is the fact that he was handed a, the White Lotus tile. That's excuse me. That is such a significant move. That is such a symbolic move, because that basically means that Saka is part of that clan right now. I really like these secret society things, and now Saka has been accepted into one. At least that's how I interpret it. So that's cool. That was such a minor thing, but it was so amazing. Yeah. So yeah, I don't have anything else to say about this. So my overall thoughts about the episode: I really enjoyed this. Not only because it gave more character development to Sokka, which we haven't gotten in a while, but it really was very centered around Sokka, and the side story of Iroh was really minor, but it was played out so well. I really do like this episode a lot. It's very close to being one of my favorite episodes, and maybe it will be in the future. I honestly cannot tell. Like, this might actually be in the top 5 episodes of Avatar, in my opinion. I'd have to go through everything again, but yeah, I just freaking enjoyed it. It was really good. Just about everything about it was good. I have to kind of retract my statement about the animation quality being bad, because oh my gosh, it's really cool in here. And yeah, I've gotten used to it. Especially since watching Higurashi, it actually is a very good, very well animated. Yeah, so overall, it's a freaking amazing episode in my opinion. But that's my opinion. That's clearly my opinion, so I want to reiterate this. I want to state this very clearly. I want you to disagree with me. If you have an opinion that's different to mine, please, by all means, do leave that comment. Because I want to know if there's something that you disagree with me. I want you to tell it to me, because that gives you more perspective and gives me a more analytical view of the whole series, when I get to see differing opinions about it and different sides of it. So if you disagree with me, or even if you agree with me, or if you have just something to say that I missed, or anything, just say. I won't block comments unless they are like actually like just insults without any purpose. I won't block comments, and I try to reply to everything. There's actually few things with Google Plus that I can't reply to every comment, because some of users have not actually allowed that in Google Plus, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, I want to just leave me your thoughts. I value your thoughts over everything else. So it's very cool to see, like in the previous episode, the comments it was so full of good points and conversation. I'm very glad about that, and I wish we can get more of that. I really hope, and I have faith in you, because so far I haven't gotten any stupid comments or any pointless comments. Like so far, everyone has been great. Oh man, that was again a tangent. Whatever. I just really appreciate you guys so much. So, without further ado, I thank you all very much for watching. It's always a pleasure. I'll see you in the next episode. Have a great day. Gunmu out.